I'm Debbi Dachinger. Welcome to Dare to Dream. Be inspired to live big and bold and take action to turn your dreams into your reality. Go beyond obstacles and limits of your thinking. Accelerate results to catapult yourself to success. I'm a visibility expert who gives media makeovers to clients, booking them on media interviews and turning their books into international bestsellers with guaranteed results. Join me at DebbiDachinger.com. Dare to do great things. Dare to shine. It's all about you becoming a visionary and leading the pack. Welcome to your daring new life. Hello, everybody. It's Debbi Dachinger, and I'm so happy to be with you instead of the tree cutters. I came back from my walk with my dog this morning and found that the building had hired tree cutters. I don't know if you've ever been right outside, inside of a building when right outside that's happening. Mamma mia, that's very loud. And my beloved trees, they were topping them off. So we're going to have a little more sunshine here in the building, and it is what it is. But the tree cutters have gone, and now, hey, I am here with you. And how does it get any better than that? Today on the show, we have our repeat fabulous guest back again because we're going to have more detailed conversation with Reverend Linda and Dr. Nick Martin. These are the folks who have written a trilogy of books. They're back on Dare to Dream Radio, and today they're talking about the ego. We're going to be looking into answering the question, is lower ego vulnerability damaging your relationships? Uh-oh. Good thing to deal with right now, because we know in business having influential relationships are everything today, and also in life, in love, in romance, and family, and friends. It's all so important. And I want to talk to you about the mystery of time. The mystery of time is the mystery of spirit. Yum, yum. Today's contemplation explores the mystery of time and spirit. And we learn that when we experience the wholeness of reality, we mysteriously integrate the temporary, ever-changing world of time and space with the timeless, unchanging reality of present awareness. We know our core to be timeless, while we're still living in and enjoying the world of time and space. So the thought I offer to you for today is, timelessness is my deep awareness. Timelessness is my deep awareness. Rabindranath Tagore said, the butterfly counts not months, but moments, and has time enough. When we come back from our break, Reverend Dr. Linda and Dr. Nick are here to talk about ego and relationships, how it helps and how it hinders us. Stay right there.
Whether you're a wine novice, a wine lover, or a wine specialist, you will love directsellers.com/Deb's Wine Wonders because it's sourced from boutique artisan vineyards from around the world. Give the wines as gifts for colleagues to bring to social situations or just enjoy it with family and friends. The box of wines I've been receiving from directsellers.com/Deb's Wine Wonders are superb, to be frank. They take care in the wine they choose. Their in-house wine experts ensure that the members get only the best. They've been tasting and selecting wine for over 15 years. The goal with this club is to send you wine that you love. Each month, our experts select great premium wines from wineries around the globe. Your satisfaction is guaranteed at directsellers.com/Deb's Wine Wonders. That's direct, CELLARS.com/Deb's Wine Wonders.
Tell the world about your product or business. Advertise on Dare to Dream Radio. The award-winning program is syndicated on over 60 stations, has a big following, and large listenership. If you're ready to expand your reach, become a sponsor or advertiser on Dare to Dream Radio. Best rates, great results. Email at ads@DebbiDachinger.com That's ads@DebbiDachinger.com.
What if the world doesn't function the way we've been told? What if we truly can bend the laws of physical reality? What if we can end limitation? What if weird were the coolest thing you could be? And what if it's time for a totally different reality? Are you ready to create it? Are you ready to dream as big as you dare? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything in my life changed for me. This is your invitation to step into something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Gandhi, Galileo, and Aristotle all knew to be true. It's not about the answer. It's about being the question, always. It's about truly being you, whatever that looks like, and changing this world. Is now the time? Start by signing up for a free video series at beingyouclass.com. That's beingyouclass.com. What if you are the gift and the change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
Tell the world about your product or business. Advertise on Dare to Dream Radio. The award-winning program is syndicated on over 60 stations, has a big following, and large listenership. If you're ready to expand your reach, become a sponsor or advertiser on Dare to Dream Radio. Best rates, great results. Email ads@DebbiDachinger.com. That's ads@DebbiDachinger.com.
Isn't it time to stop the frustration and excuses and instead create a life that you love? Introducing the magic of creating your dreams. Go to DebbiDachinger.com and click on products. In the magic of creating your dreams, Debbie shares effective, easy-to-apply tools to change the course of your life in miraculous ways. With these powerful tools, you can finally achieve your dreams. DebbiDachinger.com, the magic of creating your dreams.
Research shows we apologize up to 10 times a day, and most of the time, we say sorry as a response to someone else's mistake. What if we thanked people instead of all that unnecessary apologizing? So instead of saying, sorry, I'm rambling, you say, thank you for listening. Join us at ProjectForgive.com, a free, non-religious resource on global forgiveness.
Do you have a published book that never reached its bestseller potential? Are you working on a book or ebook you hope to publish soon? Do you have a book locked inside, waiting to release your message to the world? Go to mybestsellerbook.com. My Bestseller Book will launch your book to a guaranteed bestseller status. Learn more at mybestsellerbook.com.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that, when run, assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
Debbi Dachinger's Radio Interview Mastery Program is a unique branded system that works. MediaMasteryRadio.com puts you on a fast track to grow your business and easily book interviews. Learn how at MediaMasteryRadio.com. Debbie is fiercely committed to guiding entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, healers, and business people. Learn how to leverage your radio appearances to grow your business and increase your visibility at MediaMasteryRadio.com.
Do you have a published book that never reached its bestseller potential? Are you working on a book or ebook you hope to publish soon? Do you have a book locked inside, waiting to release your message to the world? Go to mybestsellerbook.com. My Bestseller Book will launch your book to a guaranteed bestseller status. Learn more at mybestsellerbook.com.
Welcome back, Debbi Dachinger, Dare to Dream, and we've got Reverend Dr. Linda, who's a metaphysician, certified Reiki master teacher, spiritual healer, color sound practitioner, and spiritual medium. And Dr. Nicholas is a licensed psychologist, social worker, and certified school psychologist who has worked in clinical, university, public school, and private practice settings as a therapist, educator, and consultant for 30 years. They've written a trilogy of books. You can learn more at egoandspirit.info. Linda and Nick, welcome back to Dare to Dream.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you so much for having us once again. We do enjoy our time with you.
Hi, Debbie. Thanks for having us back.
It's a pleasure. I love this conversation. I think it's really illuminating, and you're taking ego. I'm sure the ego loves all the attention, actually, but you're illuminating so much that I honestly never even contemplated before reading your books and having these conversations. And so today, again, for the listeners specifically, is lower ego vulnerability damaging your relationships? So what do you mean by lower ego vulnerability?
Okay, first of all, let's begin by understanding that when we talk about ego vulnerability, we're generally speaking about our ability to tune into and recognize, acknowledge our weaknesses, our imperfection, our sense of vulnerability, which is really a healthy thing for us to be able to do as we relate to people, whether they're our children, our spouse, or partner, our brothers or sisters, and our family. Now, as we did in the last program, we talked about higher ego vulnerability, and we talked about how those individuals often have a hard time with that sense of vulnerability. They're so consumed with their vulnerability that they end up, it ends up impacting relationships in negative kinds of ways, where they become high-maintenance partners, or they become consumed with other issues, and even emotion is too much emotion is flooding into their experiences in their relationships, often emotion of anger or anxiety. On the opposite end, which is what we're going to talk about today, is what we refer to as lower ego vulnerability. If you can imagine the volume being too high for the person with higher ego vulnerability, this is just the opposite. Instead of being consumed with their imperfections and their weaknesses and their vulnerabilities, these are people who are often oblivious to them. It's as if they don't even exist. They don't even see it, to acknowledge it, and to show awareness of it when they are interacting with loved ones or people in general, workers, and so on. And their emotional awareness of themselves and how it's impacting others is very weak, very low. And a good example on television, you often see the character Sheldon Cooper on The Big Bang. So much of that character, when you see him, it's about the absence of emotion, whether it's verbal emotion through saying warm, positive things to other people, or maybe even physical displays of emotion. This is a weakness that many people with lower ego vulnerability display in their relationships, and when that's absent, it often leaves their partners, the people they're involved with, feeling a sense of superficiality, a sense of detachment of this person from the relationship in its fullest sense, and that's not easy for people who want to be in a relationship with that person. So generally, that's what our lower ego vulnerability is. It's that absent sense of our own weakness, our own imperfection, our own sense of a vulnerability, and the lack of emotional depth that occurs within the relationship, particularly at the right times and places where it's called upon.
Wow, it's making me reflect about a lot of people that I know. I'm thinking about the male gender. I'm thinking, okay, then there are some females I know. There's someone in my writing class who we keep asking to go a little deeper with her writing because it will be more compelling for the readers, and she expresses this is a financial person, her difficulty in going there. That's kind of not, quote-unquote, who she is or how she operates. So it's fascinating to be talking about this. So what are the ways that the lower ego sabotages relationship? How does that show up?
Well, it ends up contributing in some cases for people who may, again, be emotionally distant, cold, aloof, in their relationships, and you see a lot of insensitivity a lot of times in their interactions. And part of the problem is they don't even know they're being insensitive. They don't even know they're being.
I'm sorry to laugh, but I'm thinking about our president right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, that does. Many people are experiencing that weakness in their ability to really register emotionally. And that's why we talk about vulnerability as a really important part of relationships, and in its proper amount, it's in balanced ego vulnerability. It's wonderful. It's a beautiful thing to share. There's a lot of warmth that can come forward when we're being truly who we are, and we're not afraid to be that. But when people are having a difficult time through lower ego vulnerability, it's like an emotional wall that's not there. It's blocking that full connection. The people may be there physically, they may even be there intellectually, but they're not there emotionally. And, your point is an excellent one. In fact, we've written about this in the books on how the socialization over the last 30 years has gotten better, because before that, in the generation I grew up, the boomer generation, we grew up in, they used to socialize boys actually in the direction of lower ego vulnerability. They didn't know that, but they were telling boys, keep distance from your emotions. If you cry or if you express feelings, that's a sign of weakness. The whole John Wayne, the strong silent type of notion of what it meant to be a man, it was so distorted and so negative. But on the other side, with females, we did the opposite. We told them, we encouraged them to be emotional, and we taught them that they were weaker than they really are. And fortunately, since the women's liberation movement of the late 60s, early 70s, that has changed dramatically and for the better, for both males and females. We've opened that door away from extremes of vulnerability into a healthier ego vulnerability. In the case of females, telling them or helping them understand the healthiness of their emotions, the healthiness of acknowledging those feelings. Whereas with males, we also taught them the same kinds of things, that it was okay to be the whole person you are, and to be open about what you're truly feeling and not trying to mask them through some disguised form of bravado or macho or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And because we have still so many baby boomers on the planet, which is certainly one of the generations impacted by this, we still see this amongst men, everything from I don't dance to, I don't move my body like that to, I don't express like that, I don't communicate like that. And it really is a problem, and especially because women are acclimated completely the other way to talk, chat, connect. So, it's important when the twain shall meet. And then there's other lower ego vulnerability roles that you talk about in Two Voices Within. Very interesting. So just to exponentialize what we're talking about, the sociopath, the hedonist, that's interesting, loner, logician, very interesting, sadist, and inattentive. Can you talk a little bit about each of these, and then how do they show up? How do they impact relationships?
Okay. Well, the sociopath, people have heard that term, obviously, and most times they associate it with a person who's committing illegal kinds of things. The sociopath is somebody who is extremely detached from their own feelings, from their emotions, and as a result, they can interact with people in a very cold, manipulative, insensitive way in dealing with people, and people actually become tools for their own enjoyment, their own amusement. And I talk about this in the book on how some people are just born, due to the nature of their biology, that is, their autonomic nervous system, that just doesn't register normally as far as feelings of anxiety or fear. In fact, this is a person, if they tell you, I cannot experience any fear at all, I don't feel it, they're telling you the truth. They really are experiencing, they have that real absent emotional reaction. Now, some people, in the books we refer to as secondary low ego vulnerability, it's really born out of a result of a psychological trauma in their past. It's usually been some form of abuse that they've encountered that has taught them to become emotionally disconnected because emotions are unsafe. So they keep their distance on an emotional level from their anger that they often feel, yet they manifest it sometimes outwardly in terms of behaviors, angry behaviors, lying, cheating, stealing, manipulating. Yet if you ask them, how do you feel, they would say, I don't feel anything. I just feel that's what I do. So that's some kind of reflection of the sociopath. The hedonist is somebody who tends to enjoy, they crave excitement and arousal and pleasure, and oftentimes they'll utilize situations, maybe even create drama in order to feel that arousal or pleasure, because under normal circumstances they don't feel it. It's just sort of an absent sense of, they have to create drama in order to feel. And in fact, one of the things that I learned many years into my clinical work was some people want to feel anxiety. They want to feel fear. They want to feel anger. We go to amusement parks. We watch movies or plays or things that may stimulate us to feel emotions, at least part of the time. But these are people who seek it out in a much more exaggerated way and often more incessant way, because that's the only way they ever do feel emotion. When we talk about the loner, briefly, we talk about people who are really out of touch with their needs and don't like to indicate the needs that they are experiencing, because they see that as a sign of weakness if other people knew what my needs were, or even if I knew what my own needs are. So they kind of do that distant thing with regard to relationships. The logician is somebody who's very intensively into logic as the basis for making decisions and understanding things. You could look at Sheldon Cooper as one of those characters that manifests that. You could also look at Mr. Spock from Star Trek. He was also, everything was logical, very left brain kinds of characteristics. I think a lot of times people that I've seen in certain fields, like certain mathematicians, certain people who are in the engineering fields, are heavily into the lower ego vulnerability, left brain, logical way of understanding things. So emotion often seems to be a step outside of logic, because it's not always rational in certain respects when we see it, at least in some respects. The sadist is a person who often is, they enjoy hurting other people. They enjoy being dominant in interactions. A lot of times they have had prior histories of victimization. And as we write in the book, we talk about how they are exchanging the role of having been the victim for being the role of the perpetrator. The perpetrator makes them feel empowered. It makes them feel dominant. It allows them to channel some of the anger that they haven't truly been able to work through in other parts of their life, usually from their original victimizer, and actually switch roles. And that's the way of actually being safe and being surviving. And then the last one is the inattentive. These are people, and we know a lot of them, those individuals who are often, they really like to, they are reckless, they are insensitive, they are unaware, they overestimate their performances. They think they're really doing well when they're not. Their performances are not nearly as good as they think they are. They enjoy arousal. They are under-aroused and in their nervous system functioning, and what they end up doing is they enjoy things. This is the person who, if they have to work at something in order to enjoy it, they won't do it. It has to be fun. It has to be pleasurable. It has to be something that they enjoy fully and consistently, or they just quit. They quit relationships. They quit jobs. They need something that creates arousal and removes their sense of boredom.
May I ask you quickly, before we go to break, I just am curious, because you hear about resorts called hedonist resorts and groups that are hedonist. Is that any relation to what you're referring to as far as lower ego vulnerability in regards to just a pleasure seeker, or something else entirely?
Well, the term, we talk about pseudo-happiness, and pseudo-happiness is the place where actually most of what we're getting is a lot of pleasure-based stimulation in the experience. So if the resort is saying, we're going to give you a ton of pleasure while you're here, and that really is what many people out there have been sold by the commercial industries, that they can get happiness through pleasure rather than, and don't realize that there's a difference between genuine happiness, being at peace with yourself, and being motivated by loving your work rather than fear or anger and many other things we talk about. And so I think these pleasure resorts, they're an upscale version maybe of the Happy Meal from McDonald's. They tell you, we're going to make you feel good if you come here. You're going to eat this stuff, and it's high calorie. You're going to really enjoy it. And so that's the selling point, and that's a lot of selling for a lot of industries, is we want to help you feel happy, or we want to make you feel good, but they're actually selling, and indirectly they're selling happiness, but it's really pseudo-happiness.
Right. This sounds like marketing in general. It sounds like advertising in general. Well, you're listening to Dare to Dream Radio. It works. It appeals to people. It's crazy what they'll throw down to get it, and then be disappointed and go out and throw down that money again to try to get it. You are listening to Dare to Dream Radio. You can get your mobile app and listen to the show on iTunes and all sorts of podcast sites. And join us after the show on Facebook at Dare to Dream Radio and TV. When we come back with Linda and Nick Martin, we're going to be talking about the actual voice of ego and what it might hear regarding relationships and the impact. Stay right there.
Do you love wine? Do you enjoy drinking it or sharing it? Well, maybe you know a lot about wine, maybe you don't. Thanks for entrusting me with picking and choosing the most amazing wines from all over the world and delivering them to your home or business. You will receive as few or as many bottles of wine as you like, with tasting notes in your magical box of wine detailing the regions, the history, and even food and wine pairing. We will deliver to you the best wine in the world. So get in, get wine, get social at directsellers.com/Deb's Wine Wonders. Sit back and truly enjoy our wines, because we take great pride. We have invested a great deal of time selecting the most incredible wines from all over the world. We know you'll enjoy and want to share at directsellers.com/Deb's Wine Wonders. That's direct, CELLARS.com/Deb's Wine Wonders. Yum.
Be laser focused on ideal clients. Advertise on Dare to Dream Radio. Great rates at ads@DebbiDachinger.com. Create awareness of your valuable content. Sponsor the Dare to Dream Radio show at ads@DebbiDachinger.com. Advertising amplifies everything you're doing towards success. Increase your business. Write to ads@DebbiDachinger.com.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world, and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer, it's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
Be laser focused on ideal clients. Advertise on Dare to Dream Radio. Great rates at ads@DebbiDachinger.com. Create awareness of your valuable content. Sponsor the Dare to Dream radio show at ads@DebbiDachinger.com. Advertising amplifies everything you're doing towards success. Increase your business. Write to ads@DebbiDachinger.com.
Are you ready to work with a leader whose clients get results? Debbi Dachinger believes you were born with a unique gift. She leads exceptional teleseminar classes and consults leaders and executives to go beyond obstacles and limits. Clients worldwide receive accelerated results and are catapulted into spectacular successes. For an appointment, go to www.DebbiDachinger.com.
Welcome back, Dare to Dream. This is Debbi Dachinger, and I've got Linda and Nick Martin. And the question du jour is, if the lower ego vulnerability person could hear the voice of ego, if we could even slow down time enough in reality to say, okay, what's going on in here? What would they hear regarding relationships?
And this is what I'm going to be reading is an excerpt from our book. It deals with ego's voice, and it goes directly into what it would be saying, or if we were hearing it to us, about relationships, whether they're with people in general that we work with or play with, friends maybe, people that are we call loved ones, meaning more immediate family members, parents.
And I just want the listeners to know this is an excerpt from one of their books called The Two Voices Within, in case you'd like to go get your own copy. But great, Nick. Okay, so what is that excerpt?
Okay, thank you. And then also, the ego would be saying in terms of a very close, a relationship with ourselves. Mm-hmm. So here goes that excerpt right here. Ego's voice. You have been led to live without emotion. Emotion is painful because it will let you know what you have done or not done and where you have failed. Without emotion, you need not know fear, guilt, or sadness. You need not know your earthly weaknesses, failures, imperfections, or vulnerabilities. Emotion is a doorway to them, so you must close it off to keep your distance from these enemies. The absence of emotion will make you invulnerable. When desired, seek emotion only for enjoyment. Let it be present within your thoughts, words, and deeds, so you can be amused and entertained. Allow emotion to alleviate your boredom, so you can know pleasure. Use it as a tool for this purpose. Allow it to be the maker of excitement or interest where none may exist. Make it a requirement of worthiness when forming your thoughts, words, or deeds. Abandon them when they do not provide the pleasure you desire, and seek those that will. Remain distant from those with whom you work or play. You need not experience emotion in your relationships with them, as it would expose your weakness and vulnerability to them. Both you and they are better off not knowing about your weaknesses. You must not let them know all of whom you truly are. The absence of emotion will also make you less obligated to them. When necessary, use emotion to experience pleasure in your dealings with others. Be the maker of thoughts, words, or deeds that will bring forth feelings of love, anger, or fear from within yourself and others. Use them as tools for your amusement and to relieve your boredom. You must be free of emotion in your dealings with those who are closest to you. They will reveal your weaknesses and betray you if you experience anger, sadness, or fear with them. In their absence, you can keep others at a safe distance. Love and fear will bring you closer to others and lead you to need them. It will also make you obligated to them. You are safest and will survive best without these needs. Remain an island unto yourself. When necessary, bring emotion into the company of loved ones by allowing it to arouse, stimulate, and amuse you in the thoughts, words, and deeds of your choosing. Feel love, anger, or fear for the pleasure it can offer you. Emotion is safest when you are able to decide the terms of its expression. This will keep you safe and allow you to survive best. Emotion will weaken you by forcing you to know yourself. It will lead you to see more of your vulnerability, which must remain hidden. In its absence, you can like yourself more, as you will not have to own or take responsibility for the darker parts of who you are. Allow them to remain strangers to you. Do not allow emotion to concern you with how others see you. In its absence, you can more easily miss, ignore, or dismiss the weaknesses they are calling to your attention. Their thoughts and words can remain meaningless. This will keep you safe and help you survive. And that brings it end to the excerpt reading on Ego's Voice.
Awesome. Wow. Lots of things I'm thinking about while listening to that. So I'm ready to hear the complete opposite, actually. I'm ready for to hear Linda talk about what is the lower ego vulnerability person failing to hear from the voice of spirit within relationships.
Okay. And I could read the excerpt right now from our book as well, which is Portraying Spirit's Voice. And, we can understand that, first of all, everything is energy. This is all energy we're talking about. And when somebody is living through the lower ego vulnerability energy, they're not realizing their emotions, their feeling, their heart, and they're not dealing with it. And so, these are some issues that whether they're aware of it or not, they have going on within them. And so listening to Spirit's voice, which actually can be done through our meditations that we offer on our website, can assist in helping to heal this and helping to, help someone to live a life, a fullness, a life that they were created to live. So we'll touch in on Spirit's voice from our book, The Two Voices Within. Spirit's voice. The love God is remains at a distance from you. You cannot experience compassion for yourself and your neighbors. Compassion has no place in those who are loveless, guiltless, or fearless. Its absence has left you blind to and removed you from your earthly weakness. You do not know the harm that you have caused yourself and your neighbors. Being the love God is will free you of your emotionless prison. In this freedom, the thoughts, words, and deeds of compassion will come forth to awaken you to yourself and all others. The life God is brings abundant joy and happiness that goes far beyond pleasure and amusement. It is a celebration of the abundance available within divine truth, which wells from within rather than from without. Within this celebration, you can give thoughts, words, and deeds of love in service to yourself and others, a service in which your life will have become passionate and meaningful to all that you encounter as well as yourself. The energy God is will allow you to engage in truthful works of thought, word, and deed. It is an energy in which emotion will play a role in guiding you to rightful thoughts and actions. It is your friend, not your enemy. Emotions are earthly gifts that bring forth your strength. They're not a sign of weakness or merely a means to your amusement. And that ends the reading of Spirit's Voice.
It's so beautiful, and it makes me think about the times I've spoken on stage and how I went from quote-unquote teacher inspiration to, for whatever reason, in the spirit of the moment, to become transparent and vulnerable and feel almost uncomfortable that I'd done that on stage, and come off stage and find people flocking to me in a wholly new way and saying, oh my gosh, and I related, and that made me feel this, and I understand, and thank you so much for sharing. And so it had to happen quite a few times for it to really get inside of me. Oh, there's something really powerful here about being me, about pulling back the curtain and letting myself connect at that level with people in a whole new way. Right. So I love that. And Linda, I want to ask, conversely, hearing what you said, hearing what I'm saying, how does lower ego vulnerability impact somebody's spirituality and relationship?
Well, we have to think about, life is about relationships, right? I mean, whether it's relationships with others, but mainly, especially ourselves. And if we're living through the lower ego vulnerability energy, we're actually missing that. We're not allowing ourselves to connect from that heart energy that each of us needs to understand and connect with. We cannot come to love ourselves and have a true, open, honest relationship with ourselves if we cannot open our heart. And when we are living through this energy, that's one of the things that occurs. If you're familiar with the chakras, that emotional energy that moves through our sacral chakra, I like to think of that sometimes for people that are dealing with this type of energy. It's kind of like the chakra becomes an emotional junk drawer because they're not dealing with their emotions. They're not even acknowledging their emotions. They're just moving through life. And so this energy that they choose not to feel, not to work with, not to acknowledge, it just kind of gets pushed down into that junk drawer. And, when we can come to that place of being ready to look at our emotions, to look at what we are feeling, we can find our true strength and our true divine power through this. When we can get in touch with our emotions and honor them, then our emotions can fuel who we are. They can fuel our desires and our dreams that we have in this lifetime. And, this is how the law of attraction works. When we're putting out our energy of who we are and attracting like energy back to us, that's what we experience in life. And this occurs whether you're aware of the law of attraction or not. So those who are living in the lower ego vulnerability energy, they're really not aware that this is what's occurring.
Beautiful.
And so they just keep attracting, it's that cycle that we get caught up in when we're unaware of things.
And especially the unawareness is the problem that keeps the pattern perpetual. To have it happen, to blame the outside, but to be consistently creating it. And I just want folks to know that this feels like it's been this book club we've had this past year, going through their books and having this level of conversation on the slices of this and what's possible, what's happening and what's possible. So if you like their books, go to their website, egoandspirit.info, as well as listening to all the previous. I would even start at number one at the interviews. You can go to DebbiDachinger.com to listen to all of them. Also, BBS Radio has them, and of course, I'm syndicated on multiple stations. So just go back and track these because it'll be life-changing. We're going to take a break, and listen, if you love wine, and I do, you can send wine as gifts. You can have it on hand for the holidays or birthdays or anything coming up. You can do this with this worldwide high-end wine club, and it's at below retail prices, delivered to your door. Go to directsellers.com, that's with a C like a wine cellar, directsellers.com/DebsWineWonders. Get yours today. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dane here, and I would like to invite you to an adventure in being. I've just written and finished a new book known as Being You, Changing the World. Are you one of those dreamers? One of those people who's always known that other possibilities should be available but haven't yet been able to see them be created? Well, I wrote this book for you. In it, you'll find tools, processes, and unique perspectives to change the things you've always wanted to change but didn't know how. In it, you'll find an invitation to a different possibility for a way that we can be in this world that changes not only our lives, but by being us, allows us to contribute to changing everything planet-wide that doesn't work. Are you aware that truly great people, truly being them, is the only thing that has ever created a great change on this planet? Are you willing to step up? Are you willing to be one? Check out a copy of my new book, Being You, Changing the World. I invite you to go to beingyoubook.com for a free gift.
MediaMasteryRadio.com. Learn how to get booked on radio, be paid in money, time, and sales quickly while helping others through your media visibility. At MediaMasteryRadio.com, learn how to get on radio and be interviewed. Debbi Dachinger is a success and media expert who is a proven professional. Go to MediaMasteryRadio.com. Stop struggling to acquire clients. Learn to achieve instant visibility to the masses. Book radio interviews for a profitable business. Learn to communicate what you do and get results at MediaMasteryRadio.com.
MyBestsellerBook.com helps you self-publish and you keep all the royalties. Even if your book is already published, MyBestseller.com will help you become a best-selling author. Your book will be promoted to a large global following. Enjoy a press release and book review. Make your next book launch bigger and better. MyBestsellerBook.com has long-term client credibility and 100% success in turning books into bestsellers. MyBestsellerBook.com.
If you're tuning in after we've started, this is Debbi Dachinger on Dare to Dream Radio. I'm interviewing Linda and Nick Martin at egoandspirit.info. So, I've never asked you this in all our previous shows, and this feels so a delicious question to me for both of you and individually. This is Dare to Dream. What do you next dare to dream? What are your future dreams and goals?
Well, I'm in the process of working on it. I guess I'll call it another book that really tries to put what we're talking about into maybe an even more layman's-like way of frame of reference to help them even better understand exactly what we're saying, help them get into more context with this. So to the degree that I can accomplish that goal, that's my dream.
And I have to say, he's working on this book by himself.
Okay. And what's your dream? What do you want to create next, Linda?
Oh, my goodness. You know what? I think I'm at a point in my life where each day is a new creation, and I feel so content and blessed that, I don't have like a specific goal any longer. I mean, it all just flows, and it's all good, and I'm part of the flow, and I will be where I need to be. And, I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at right now in my life, and it feels really good.
Beautiful. And for those who do want to create dreams, do want to create goals, I'm curious, the lower ego, does it help or hinder creating our dreams and goals? Does it help or hinder manifesting them successfully?
I would say it doesn't do that, because we need the emotion and we need the acknowledgement of our humanity in its healthiest sense, meaning balanced ego vulnerability, to really be that genuine being, that we were referring to earlier, and bringing forth what is best within ourselves that we can offer both to ourselves and to all the people that we are involved with, whether they know us directly or maybe from a distance.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because earlier you hit upon something that I was curious about before we started, which is how the lower ego shows up in work situations. Linda, will you talk a little bit about that? How does it show up in work situations? How does it get it all mucky-mucky?
Well, as we've been talking about the ego vulnerability and how certain people can be, you can imagine that working with somebody, who's dealing with a lower ego vulnerability could be a difficult thing. They don't have that ability to, that give and take that might be there. It might be somebody who is just working just from a logical place and cannot, have the compassion that they might need to understand how they are affecting others in the workplace. There's so many different types of relationships, and a person with lower ego vulnerability usually is not aware of how they are affecting, others, whether it's in the workplace, in the family, or, wherever it may be. So that can be a very difficult thing.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are people out there resonating, going, that's what's going on at work.
Exactly.
Because you mentioned earlier, lower ego, thinking that it's helping us out in the world, it may not even realize it's doing its part of us, is doing what it's doing. Is there any way to turn that around so we can start to realize that this is the behavior going on?
Well, it's really important that for that individual, if they're going to take notice that they can, and it's not easy to do. Sometimes people have to point it out to them, just the way they're trying to point out to Sheldon his weaknesses and need to grow in terms of his emotional connectiveness to others. So sometimes, in this particular case, they're very oblivious to that. There's no problem. There's no issue here, and if it's nothing to do with me or my weaknesses or my emotions lacking or anything like that, and it really kind of is impacted, or if it's going to change, sometimes it comes from without, that people point out that this isn't happening or this is missing or I want more from my relationship with you. And if that person wants to really pay attention and listen and digest it, it takes, for some people that's not easy to do, but if they want to do it, things can move forward. I think people have to look outside and see what's going on with their lives, and particularly the relationships they have, and if they're important enough to them, if they seek to make them better. If somebody tells me I'm not feeling something that I want to feel with our relationship, I want to feel a closer sense of connection and love, and I have to pay attention to that. If I don't, it's not going to change.
And if I may say, on our website, egoandspirit.info, we have 6 focused ego meditations, and each meditation works with the specific ego energy. So if somebody is feeling that they are connecting with what we're talking about today, get the lower ego vulnerability meditation. Each of these meditations is 35 to 40 minutes long, and it's a wonderful way to just sit with it and allow this energy to be known and felt within you so that healing can begin.
Beautiful. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Linda and Nick, for being with us today and all the previous interviews we've had and may have again in the future. It has been sumptuous. That's what it feels like, sumptuous, to have you be with us with all this wisdom and insight on Dare to Dream.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie, for the opportunity and honor to be on your show and to be able to speak to your listeners.
So important. And their books are phenomenal, highly recommended. I've read them all. And I end today's show with this quote from Osho. Love and ego cannot go together. Knowledge and ego go together perfectly well, but love and ego cannot go together, not at all. They cannot keep company. They are like darkness and light. If light is there, darkness cannot be. Darkness can only be if light is not there. If love is not there, the ego can be. If love is there, the ego cannot be, and vice versa. If ego is dropped, love arrives from all the directions. It simply starts pouring in to you from everywhere. Well, next up on Dare to Dream Radio and Podcast, I'm featuring Lisa Nichols, Mitch Russo, Scott Stable, Judith Orloff, Thomas John, and Carolyn Mace. You can subscribe to my inspirational YouTube videos at youtube.com/DebOnTheRadio. And remember, the secret of success to creating your dream is having the courage to begin in the first place. Thanks for joining me today.
To contact the award-winning syndicated Dare to Dream radio show, go to DebbiDachinger.com. keep your excellent feedback and comments coming. Your host, Debbi Dachinger, is an expert at goal achievement, a media personality, an international best-selling author, and a keynote speaker. Debbi leads high-quality teleseminars on how to achieve goals, how to be a self-published best-selling author, and how to get booked on radio. All classes are at DebbiDachinger.com. Debbi's best-selling books are Dare to Dream, This Life Counts, sold on Amazon, and her second book, Wisdom to Success, The Secrets to Accomplish All Your Dreams, sold online at all bookstores. Tune in again to hear the next inspiring interview guest who has turned their vision into a successful reality. Want more support in making your dreams come true? Go to DebbiDachinger.com. That's www.DebbiDachinger.com. You'll see videos, MP3s, archived interviews, and amazing products sharing the secret steps to making your dreams come true. Remember to dream big with every expectation that your dream will become real. Dreams are free, so free your dreams. What do you dare to dream?
Here I'm standing now, waiting for my time to be all that I can be. It's so easy to forget, life is in my hands, and I can change it if I want. Nothing's impossible.